people were wondering why you were so quiet during the Chubby Chaser segment.
What?
Dreamweaver was a big girl, wasn't she?
Oh, yeah, but I didn't know at the time. That was CB radio shit. When you used to make
the big reveal, that's right.
Yeah, when you used to make your dates off of the CB radio, it wasn't like fucking Twitter or Facebook or anywhere where you see a picture. So I didn't know she was going to be huge. It was, breaker, it's the Wrangler. Dreamweaver, you out there, you got your ears on. And then, hey, this is the Dreamweaver. And then I made a date with her and, she turned out to be a little overweight. What am I going to say?
You were scared for the
before.
I know.
The poor horse.
You were scared for the extra horse you brought along for Dreamweaver.
I was going to be all man.
You felt so bad for the extra horse.
I was like, yeah, Dreamweaver, we made a whole date on the CB. Like, you want to go horseback riding? She's like, oh, yeah, that sounds great.
What you
saddle up to an extra horse? I have my horse. I tie the reins around the horn of my saddle, and I loaded up with all kinds of stuff because I expected that we were going to spend a lot of time up in the hills together.
Some of that quality
time. Just me, her, up in the hills on horseback. I was going to hunt. I was going to shoot a rabbit and cook it up for us.
Seriously?
At night. Yeah, I had everything.
And what did you think she looked like in your mind? Do you remember?
She was weaving my dreams, Opie.
But what do you remember? What you thought she would look like?
Yeah, I did have an image of just a slender.
Well, obviously all that,
slender
but brown
girl.
hair, big boobies. What are we talking?
Do you dark remember? Hair, big beautiful eyes, cute smile, and built very nicely, put together very nicely. Right. Maybe in some kind of Western attire because that was kind of sexy at the time. I thought.
And what did you see that day?
Holy mother of pearl! I rode up with the horse tied up to my saddle and rode up and I saw her standing at the meeting place where the two. The Capistrano River kind of split.
That was your meeting place?
That was our meeting place. And I was like, and there wasn't a chance that it could have been someone else. Right. It's the divide of a river.
Right.
There's no one else there.
But we should put a plaque in that area now.
It should be.
This is where I met Dreamweaver.
The divide of the Capistrano River in San Juan Capistrano.
Hey, we got fans all over the place.
I know.
Someone should just do that for you.
Here is the place.
They're close enough.
A historical marker.
Yeah, get a historical marker.
Yeah.
Where Anthony's dreams were shattered.
And it was weird because at first, when someone's far away like that, I couldn't tell. I could just tell there was a person there.
Right.
So as I'm riding up, I was just thrilled that I wasn't stood up.
But were you starting to get
I'm like, this
butterflies?
Is yeah. I was getting all nervous and everything. I'm like, oh, she's here. This is so cool. And again, through my head, I'm running the whole thing through my head like, all right, we're gonna ride up the river and then up into the hills, and we'll put down the sleeping bags. I'll make a fire.
You knew the exact spot you were going to stop for the night?
I knew exactly. It was by a big lake up in the middle of the hills, and I was going to pull out the 22 that I had, a little lever action 22, and I was going to fucking bag a rabbit and skin it and cook it over a fire, and we were going to sit there, and I brought some booze with me, sneak a little booze. It was going to be the greatest fucking night of my life up till then.
Wait, what tipped you off when the horse started to whinny and buck at the prospect of that monster sitting on it?
It literally went, oh. Oh, it was fucking, it was going to be great. And then the closer I got, I was like, uh-oh, maybe she's cold. And bundled up.
And wearing a fat person on her.
Maybe she's cold.
Oh, you were hoping there were some layers.
And then as I got closer, it was... She literally... Here's what she looked like. She looked like Mama Cass Elliott.
No.
Yes. I'm not talking a little chubby or chunky. She was fucking fat.
Huge.
Huge fat. She had the Mama Cass face. The whole deal.
Were you disappointed?
Was I? Dude, because you gotta remember this. This is like early teens, and you are like every chance you get to be with a girl, in any way, shape, or form. A date, a fucking something like that is golden, and it doesn't happen a lot at that age.
So
it's very
rare,
difficult
right.
to spin that,
to get something done,
and then to have this thing built up in my head that this is going to be Clint Eastwood. I was fucking Clint Eastwood. This was going to be great.
Your brother once said.
Oh,
brother Joe.
I don't remember. I don't remember the timeline exactly. Whether this was before or after Buzz.
Oh, we know the Buzz story, of course.
I know, but was it before or after?
I believe this was pre-Buzz.
It was pre-Buzz. Okay, because we also had a ton of little babe teenage girls hanging out around the stables all the time.
Yeah, but they were
like Kendall and
right, but they weren't good to go. A lot of them, we could have a little fun with them, but I don't
know. There was always Rami too. Remember?
Oh yeah, she was a goer. Boy, back then those girls didn't give a shit. Girls were just fucking. It was the sexual revolution, I think they were calling it.
I do remember the day that you met her, though, and it was an awful day for you.
It was so disappointing, and I wound up so I couldn't just say, hey, take a hike. So I'm like, all right, let's take a ride. It was the shortest horseback ride I ever took. We went up in the hills, and then I was like, all right, you want to go back?
That was like the Mexican. That was the time I got bagged. I got bagged by Dad for weed with the Mexican chick. Remember, I was holding on to weed for that Mexican chick.
Yeah. Joe had weed in his sock, and my father found it.
I got bagged.
What's in your sock? My father was always great on disciplining us for doing bad things, and then he would just do the worst things ever.
Drive with 3 kids in the bed of a pickup truck over the Ortegas while trashed.
As he was hammered, but a little weed in your sock. Or if I steal a few quarters to buy some ice cream sandwiches, it was the worst thing ever.
That was a short fucking horseback.
That was a short fucking ride. We went up and then rode back down. I was so disappointed. And then
you ever see her again?
Well, let me. I had to listen to this for weeks.
Wrangler, this is Dreamweaver. You out there?
And then I'm like, I can't even now get on the CB and try to find some other chicks because if she knows I'm on the CB.
She was hoping that.
Yeah.
You thought it was a good time.
Yep.
Wait a minute.
She must have known.
What, did you fuck her or no? You didn't?
No.
Did you kiss her?
Nothing.
How long did you hang out with her?
As short a time as I had to without making her kind of feel bad or anything.
It was more than 6 hours?
No, it was probably 2 hours.
Okay.
It was
nice.
a ride up in the hills, a ride back, and then like, all right, I got to go, take it easy. And then I saw her, the only other time I saw her was at another ranch that we had ridden to. And she was sitting.
Pig farm?
Yeah, the pig farm. Must be one charming motherfucking pig. It was at another ranch, and it was at night, and we rode up, and she was sitting around a fire with other people, and they were like singing songs. And I rode past and kind of looked over and was like, oh, that's her. And I just didn't look. I didn't look. My horse looked over and said, hey, it's not the fatso that...
No, it didn't.
All right.
Do you know? Do you think she knows who you are now?
Nah, probably
I always
not.
wonder that shit.
I
Some
do
of these
too
weird
sometimes.
stories,
I
wonder if they kept tabs on you a little bit.
There are some people in California that know who I am and stuff like that.
Sure, the McMartins.
Yeah, the McMartin preschool.